morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Let me kickstart it with a quote of this glorious poet from the 21st century. Because we know you don't love us because of our shiny things, but still we want to present to you what we did this last year so you get more in love with Liferay.
And I'm going to start with a quote by someone who I quote regularly in most presentations. But what I really like about it is like building software is about solving problems for real people, but that's done by effectively communicating with users. And that's why we're here today, is to communicate with all of you guys, because it's really, really important, not just at Devcon, but around the year to get feedback from you guys and to communicate really, really clearly.
But excuse me, from last year, we got all this feedback that there was this crazy Irishman on stage talking about things no one understood. Remember?
Everyone understands me. I'm always super clear in what I say.
Oh, yeah, really? And what do you mean when you say, for example, this is going to be ready in the next quarterly release?
Everybody knows, like when I say this is going to be ready next quarter release, what I mean by that. Like that means that we've been working on it for a really long time, so we must be nearly finished, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
But you do the same thing all the time too.
Me?
Yes. Like you're always saying, oh yeah, that's in our roadmap. People don't know what that means.
But that only means that we will do it once we fix the staging. I mean, that's super easy to understand. But excuse me, there's another thing I just heard you telling to a partner, like, oh, we need to work on this interesting customer use case. We need absolutely to prioritize. What did you mean by that?
Everybody in this room knows when I say that it's a really important use case that we need to prioritize. It means that Brian or Marco have told me you've got to go do that now.
Okay.
I mean, everybody knows this.
Okay. Okay, let me kickstart then and start with really important stuff. Let's go with content management. You will be thinking, how is it possible to improve content management capabilities in Liferay? But yes, we did it again. We started last year by integrating ChatGPT into our web content editor. And this year we extended that integration for product descriptions to be created also out from AI together with images. Now you can find this AI generator every time you need to upload an image. You can go directly to the AI generator and create as many images as you need with DALL-E. So that will improve the quality of content and for sure free up some time from your content creators for more strategic tasks. Next, for sure, I mean, we already presented that yesterday, Barbara, Ruth, Kevin, Wes. They were working on this Liferay AI assistant that is available for you all to use in our Liferay workspace in GitHub. So as you saw yesterday, and for those that miss it, you need to watch the recording, it is able to create any kind of content, blocks, and objects, definitions, for example. It is able to create categories and then assign automatically categories and tags to the content that is being created. Content can be created in bulk, so you can create as many number of assets as you need. And for sure, the most impressive thing is it is able to create pages from just a wireframe, be it in Figma, be it on a napkin, as we saw yesterday. So I encourage you to test it as soon as you can. It will be available from this week on also in Liferay Labs, which is the area that we have for our experimental stuff. So just a reminder here, it's not supported because it's on Labs yet, but we are planning to improve it and include it in our product for next releases. Okay, what did we do about content and page management as well? So as Marco presented and announced it yesterday, we're trying to slim down the code. So there are some features, very loved features, that are going away eventually at some point. So one of these features is private pages. And I know there will be a lot of fans from private pages in the room, but don't worry, because what we are doing is providing the same capabilities for regular pages. So we don't have any more private and public. We just have pages. So what we did this year is adding this bulk management for permissions on pages, as well as adding visual cues, so you can identify at a glance which pages have no permissions for guests. We are also working, and that will be ready in the next quarterly release, a default setting for pages at the site level, so you can decide whether your pages are private or public from the very beginning of your project. For sure, these permissions can be overridden in any moment, but it's just a default setting, okay? For content, we did something similar regarding bulk permissions for web content, and also we added this beautiful model there that enables users to decide about the display settings of the content and also the permissions at the moment of publishing. This way they can check if the permissions for the content are the right ones, because one of the problems we understood was happening with private pages is that users were really confused about content having the same permissions as pages. So this is a way to check just right before publishing what the display dates are and what the permissions are. And with that, I'm handing it over to Bernard for commerce.
Thank you, Julia. Okay, so commerce is no longer kind of the new kid on the block that it has been for the last few years. And one of the actual sort of important milestones we reached is that last week we've been recognized by Gartner and added to the Commerce Magic Quadrant for the first time, which is, yeah, we can clap with that, yeah. Now, we're not listed as high in the quadrant as we'd like to be, and that's something we have to continue working on, but it's a really important milestone, and it sort of reflects the maturity we're coming to in the commerce functionality. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about Minium 4.0, and Julia sort of challenged me on this because we're meant to be talking about stuff that's done, and this is still not coming out for another few weeks in the next release. But what Minium is this is a site initializer that we built when we launched commerce, and the idea was to get people up and running really, really quickly. So building out a full shopping experience for them. What Minium 4.0 is doing is pulling together a lot of the improvements we've made over the last number of years and updating that initializer to leverage the latest frameworks. Things that we've been doing, like making it easier to customize and tailor that experience. Minium was really, really good to get people started, but if they wanted to define a new product display page, they were essentially throwing away what Minium gave you and starting from scratch. So by leveraging content pages, by bringing products into the info framework, allowing you to use the power of Liferay, and this ties into what Marco was saying yesterday about building Liferay with Liferay. So the commerce components now are actually all built using native components and making it easier to tailor those experiences and giving you out-of-the-box product display and order display pages that you can tailor really easily. Minium itself now was always just like a separate styling, but we are using the new client extensions for the theme CSS, so making it easier for you to customize the themes. Also, we've added a lot of workflows, like the returns workflow, requesting quotes, the approvals. So incorporating them directly into the shopping experience. So again, you've got a very comprehensive B2B storefront to use straight away. We've also made a lot of enhancements in terms of the product management. I know that a lot of people in this room and a lot of people in the last few days have been asking me for even more things, but hopefully you feel we've been quite responsive in terms of the requests we've been getting, how we're improving the flexibility of the catalog, adding new options and new capabilities, allowing you to make more configurations for the products, incorporating in product configuration rules, allowing you to have restrictions or dependencies between different product options, and helping you guys, making it easier for you to support more advanced use cases out of the box, so you guys can really focus on customizing and extending where it's really, really adding value. Also, and there's been a number of presentations yesterday about this already, we've added some specific client extensions based around the commerce use cases. So for payment integration, for shipping engines, for customizing the checkout experience, there's dedicated client extensions and samples available with every client extension we do to allow you to do that faster. But with the commerce ones, we went a step further. We've provided real client extensions as well for you guys to use that are available through the marketplace. So we have done that with Stripe, ADN, and PayPal for the payments, with UPS for the shipping integration. So these are not just examples that you can follow, but also real live integrations that you can actually use to accelerate your development as well. And that leads me into Marketplace conveniently. So again, I think a lot of you saw Kevin Leone's talk yesterday about Marketplace and some of the developments we're doing there. But this is really, really important to us. And particularly, one of the big things we did this year was bringing in cloud apps. So this is a way, similar to the DXP apps that we've had, which were like the OSGI extensions. This is here adding support in for the client extensions, so being able to package and distribute them. But we've gone a little bit further with the cloud apps in that we actually deploy these as live services. So if you've got a Liferay workspace in a Liferay project, you can actually directly deploy from the Marketplace the client extension and have that added into your DXP instance automatically. And again, at the end of the day, Ben Turner will be talking about some of the future developments for Marketplace as well, so I encourage you all to attend that too. We've also made, some improvements to the publisher experience. So we're providing that to be more self-service, and there's still room for improvement. I know a number of you guys have already joined the new Marketplace, but do reach out to any of us, any of you who want to have any questions about publishing apps on the Marketplace. There'll be people available at the Liferay desk beside the sponsors all day. So anyone with any questions related to Marketplace, to apps, or becoming a publisher, please come there and talk to us about that. So back to Julia.
Okay. So thank you, Bernard. For those of you who attended yesterday, analytics talk on the track A by Julia and Marcellus, you have heard about some of these cool features we've added this year to Analytics Cloud. So some of them are related to how we enhance personalization options for our customers and also for enhancing how we track the performance of those personalization. So one of them is this enhanced path analysis tool. This is a tool we already had for tracking users' journey through the site. Now we've added the exit pages also for more insightful metrics. And we also added the ability to segment by custom events. For those of you that doesn't know how Analytics Cloud works, it is possible to add any custom event for, let's say, tracking any events you want on DXP or even in a third-party site. So you add this custom event and get the metrics inside Analytics Cloud through a specific dashboard. Now it's possible as well to create segments on top of those custom events. So you can, for example, create a segment for a user that submitted a form on a third-party site that you're trying to track. So that significantly improves our ability to improve personalization. And another thing we did was improving A/B testing capabilities by having the possibility of creating this A/B test, goal test, where the whole collection of content, let's say a display with several contents, is tracked as a whole. So we are not tracking the click-through rate of each one of the contents inside the collection, but the whole collection. So you can, for example, A/B test which kind of criteria for your collections is working better. Maybe you're using a recommendation algorithm for presenting content related to the user browsing history on one of the variants of the page, and the other one is just a regular collection or a manual collection you've selected, and you can compare them and track which one is performing better. So this is adding significant also improvement in our personalization capabilities. Other things we did with Analytics Cloud this year was opening it up or improving the way it connects to other systems by improving our export API that now it's able to send out every event that is tracked for a user. It's also possible already to download any report as a PDF and some of the list also as CSVs. And last but not least, we also improved our GDPR compliance tooling. That means that now AC is integrated with our out-of-the-box cookie banner. So customers can set it up for end users be accepting or not the tracking from AC, among other improvements. I just recommend you to talk to Julia or Marcellus around there in order to get all the details about these features. And okay, we are going with no low-code experiences. As you know, Liferay is going no-code, and it's not just a set of features, it's like a mindset that is across the board, but specifically in our evolution of objects and page building, we can present now how it is possible to create these forms from the page builder, and now they can be converted into multi-step forms. So any single page form can be converted into a user journey. You can select how many steps your form should have, which fields should go in each one of the steps, adding or changing the labels, or even removing them for the steps. And this is just the beginning this is just a continuation of our integration between the page builder and objects capabilities. So we are planning to do more this year. Another thing that we like a lot is that we are improving the way of dealing with the look and feel of the site in a no low-code way. So if you remember, we already did like this CSS client extension and the theme CSX client extension. So what we've added this year is the ability to upload a JSON for adding or modifying the front-end tokens, so they can be easily editable from the style books. So that means that with just a single action, which is uploading this JSON, anyone on the team that has no technical capabilities can modify the look and feel of a set of pages or pages through style books. So we are really, you have already also in the audience Rosalind Marquez that can give you more tips about how to use style books together with the theme client extension in order to avoid modifying the code of the theme and having to create a new one. And I'm passing it to Bernard for continuing.
Thank you. Yes, so some of you may have already seen the presentation yesterday about the API builder. So this is another important tool. One of the nice things with the objects framework is it's giving you the APIs for free. It's automatically generating the endpoints that you need. But with API Builder, it's providing you with a visual interface, allowing you to define new custom endpoints or customizing the schema, which can be really, really useful for a wide variety of use cases if you're doing particular integrations, if you want to restrict data for certain uses. Being able to easily define these custom endpoints through simple drag and drop interfaces is really, really nice. Also, Gabrielle and Camacho did a presentation yesterday on the proxy framework. The proxy framework, we're continuing to evolve that, and it's becoming really, really important to simplify the integration story. A really good example of that there is we formed a partnership this year with Sugar CRM, and our integration in with Sugar CRM is actually built on the proxy framework. And it's continuing to mature and evolve. We still have more improvements to do, but again, going to Ben's talk for the roadmap, I don't want to spoil any of that. But yeah, another nice tool that you actually can see here in the presentation is one of our sales engineers, Mahmoud. I don't know, stand up. Where are you? Okay, he's shy. So this is a connection wizard that he's actually published in the marketplace. So this is leveraging the proxy framework. It gives some out-of-the-box integrations to some common databases, to Salesforce, to Sugar, but allows you as well quickly to define new integrations as well. So it's also another really nice example of the proxy in action. And those of you that are interested, I encourage you to have a look at that as well. So last, but by very no means least, I just want to highlight some of the work the core infrastructure team has been doing. Obviously, there's a lot of change happening in the Java ecosystem at the minute. Victor Ware will be on the stage later on today to talk a little bit about Liferay's roadmap when it comes to Java, and I think that's probably going to be important for a lot of you. But things that we have done this year is having runtime support for Java 17 and Java 21. The team is hard at work on getting compile support, which will be there next year, but Victor will be able to give a lot more details in some of the big changes that are happening in the next year when it comes to Java. So we only had 20 minutes, so this is very much just the highlights of the last year. It's not all the highlights, but we were constrained on time. But but like that's the whole point of Devcon is to to try, and all of these talks are trying to showcase some of the hard work the teams are doing all year round. And yeah, I'm hoping it's exciting you, because it's definitely exciting us. And
Okay, so thank you all for coming.